Oh, this is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Moskin and Cam Water.
It's motorsport, but not as you know it. Test yourself and your everyday road car. Safe, affordable, but most of all, fun. And all you need is your daily driver. Experience the thrill of a sprint day. Race against the clock at a hill climb. Or test your reflexes with an auto test. It takes just 3 simple steps to get started. Get on the start line. Search Motorsport Australia Daily Driver today.
Fishies in a row. They're here to make a point and to do Eddie proud. They fan out in the background as they come down to turn 1 for the first time. It all looks pretty good, 2 by 2. We'll stop the camera here. Oh, Eddie would be proud, mate. That was awesome run around turn 1. But, oi! Contact with the fishies!
He's made it through. It doesn't look like Angus has made it, but Thomas Freeman's made it through, and Angus is going to suffer the crowd coming through there to be able to turn his car around.
I love riding. It's a real social thing. There's a great bond between riders.
Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other.
Riding to work is a great way to start the day.
Shannon's insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. They offer features riders really want. It's why they're one of Australia's leading motorcycle insurance providers.
Whatever you ride.
Whatever you ride.
Whatever you ride.
Ride with Shannon's.
Call 134646 for a quote.
And they are off. It was a good start from Dylan DeBono. I think Phil Vella got a great start there in the background as well. You can see already cars going 5, 6 wide as they're trying to find any semblance of space. They come into T1. So far we've got 2, 3 wide as they snake down. It's Michael Conchar that's got around Dylan DeBono. A couple of cars going wide there. Was that a bit of contact in the back? Scott Pocock caught up in that, I think, there, buddy. But it's Michael Cuttajar's got past, so Dylan.
Light is coming out and we're about to get going, and we have a green light and a very slow start for the 86s, but they are moving out there on the grid. It would be very interesting to see exactly which driver can capitalise on this first lap. Just go through the grid. Look like Jamie Christensen had a really awesome start to get ahead of Dylan DeBono, and Doug Gowage also jumped his teammate as well, so unfortunately Dylan stalled the car a little bit more than what he preferred. But
Weekend in, weekend out, Motorsport Australia officials are making waves. From waving flags, waving cars through pit lane, or responding to a wave for help. Wave hello to new lifelong friends. Who knows, you might just make waves around the world. Ride the first wave. Search Motorsport Australia officials today.
They're still great classes of car, and if you are able to, if you're coming up the ranks on iRacing through the licenses, it's a fantastic sort of laneway into prototype driving, going from that GT3 up through the prototype classes. As the safety car pulls in, we get ready to go green as we come up towards the line. Edwards, Hasler, who's going to get the jump down to turn 1, or will any of the fishies, any of the piranhas in behind them, assault them down towards
they're green and they're off.
First lap. Let's go here.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannon's.
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover,
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be
Shannon's.
Shannon's, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 134646 for a quote.
This is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Moskin and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble's bottle right now because
tell you what, Bruce Tanak and Jamie Dyke just absolutely drove away from us. Hayden trying to go around the outside. This is where he could have just sent it up the inside, but he hasn't committed, which is fair enough.
Oh, well, he's at the top of the standings, bud, so...
No, he didn't. You're right, he double one.
Can you talk now? Live, apparently.
Good evening, sim racing fans. Welcome to SRWtv once again. Tonight we're back in the world of open wheelers for the second round of the new season of the Motorsport Australia Formula V Nationals. It was an awesome night of racing last week at Okayama, and this week we turn it up another notch with more racing at the fast-flowing Virginia International Raceway. It's Gary Average Sim Racer here, together with James JP Parfitt, who once again sharing the comm duties as well as giving us these cameras on tonight's great action. Well, it was a stellar job last week, buddy, for both yourself and the drivers. How do you think they're going to go this week around VIR?
Well, apart from the fact they're going to have a very long evening of racing, the lap times are nearly 2 minutes, 2 minutes 20 to be precise, as well. So they're going to be very long here, but it could be an interesting one. I think with VIR in general, it could turn out to be rather exciting. It could turn out to be not so exciting. We've got 22 cars on the circuit at the moment, so hopefully it should deliver great action here as well.
Tell you what it is, JP's, it's pretty tricky in these cars. The rear wants to rotate on you, especially on cold tyres. You're going to see sort of minimal inputs. Look, that's a perfect example of it there for Kyle on screen. But it's just so easy to light up those rears. And being such a long lap, it's, we might see that the draft work 2 or 3 times down that back straight, I think.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to start wondering, at this point, will we start getting fatigue due to the fact that obviously it is so long? When you're driving in a car, you generally want to be able to sort of get it over and done with within a minute and a half. You can see how long it is there as well. 2:20 on the clock. It's going to be an interesting one, I think, for some of these drivers this evening, and whether or not they'll be, tired, I guess.
One of them. Well, I was going to say, I think I said it last week, when I drive these cars, it feels like I'm trying to mash, my right foot through the pedal, not just on it, trying to get it to go faster. It's like what in your go-karting days, I suppose. So, being such a long lap, you got the straight, you got that fast section. I mean, those chicanes are just flat out now anyway, right through here. So this is basically going to be another straight as well, maybe just a little bit hard to pass. But it's going to be interesting to see how the difference between the guys that are really quick and on it and the guys that, maybe still sort of trying to find their feet in these cars. I think that was a great segue into the standings we might have a quick look at as these cars go out to start their qualifying lap. And after a great showing last week, it is Caleb Bellack for Pioneer DJ Racing that has the perfect points on the board. And Sam Chapman, 18 points back behind him. And then we're looking at, double header between Jason Madden and Dean Sinkovic. So those boys, right in amongst it. And then the points all the way down, it's pretty close.
Yeah, it is after that as well. You've got Sam Chapman, James Madden, Scott Pocock, Dave Roberts, David Fahey, Tyler Sheaf, Peter Ziedler, Mike Rush round out the top 10. And then you've got John Schultz there as well with Carl Stevens, Miles Bond, Kevin Wakefield, Adrian Loretti, Brad Cheney, Stephen Sinkovic, Daniel Bryan, Chow Philo, Di Feldman, Jackson DeMay, Marty Walker, and Steve Heaton. So to be fair, they did a good job last time out as well. We wasn't entirely sure how it was going to materialize at certain points as well. And, I think overall, it's not been too bad for round 2. They've still got quite an interesting schedule to keep as well. Because obviously with us going to Virginia this time, we're also off to Laguna Seca with Alton Park and Orem Park after that as well. So 2 great little circuits with Summit Point there as well. Lime Rock, that's going to be an interesting one. Charlotte, well, yeah, that's could be turned out.
Yeah,
and then we go to
drivers
Suguba.
were talking about that one. the drivers were talking about Charlotte and really looking forward to it. I know a couple of the drivers mentioned that last week to us. VIR, well, we already seen Scott Pocock loop it there on that cold rubber. It's going to be a couple of laps before you're going to be able to really sort of carry any amount of speed into some of those corners. I had a little bit of a test drive before, and just the moment the rear goes, it can be quite difficult to feel it and catch it. And, you know, I'm on a direct drive, so I think it's going to be a lot trickier than we think out here racing around this big, long lap.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think that's one of the things that these guys are going to have to try and contend with. But I don't think there's a lot overall they're going to be able to do. They've got to just make sure that they're on the side of the circuit. They've got to make sure they're running. They've got to make sure that they're keeping it on, because there are going to be people that will not finish this race. That's an obvious one. It happens. We know it happens. So really, to score points, you've just got to keep it on the racetrack, and consistency is the key. And the saying goes, Cowy, as we do know, to finish first, the first you've got to finish. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting.
I think we had about 4 or 5 retirees last week at Okayama, so, you know, and look, it is a somewhat different car to drive than even sort of the F3s or the V8 the V8 supercar that I drive. So, you know, it has its own little nuances. You've got to break in a straight line. You've got to be really careful with that initial turn in, because if you give it just the tiniest bit more lock, that rear will step out in a heartbeat. So, you know, definitely a different skill level to be able to drive these things on the limit and fast.
I don't know where the limit would be, because you've got that's the thing. I think at the end of the day, you've got to think that, you know, that they haven't got a lot of power, but the power they have got is quite a lot for what they're driving in. You know, we put it as like a cow's barrel trough that you basically just cut out and stick a driver in it, put an engine in it, put some wheels on, wishbone suspension, and say, right, off you go, son. You know, it's like a next step up from a go-kart for these people. So they've just got to be mindful of what they've got. I would be very, very, very surprised if, in general, any of them are using first or second gear at this race circuit. I don't think they would have enough oomph if they did try and go down that low in general. You know, we're on 4th here as well with Scott Pocock. So I don't think there's any chance of them being a lower gear here as well. I'm surprised that we didn't extend quali for this race, considering how long this racetrack is. You know, we still haven't got times on the board. We've still got people on their outlaps and stuff like that. This is the tricky part of the segue up through the roller coaster as well. He's got to get it on the brakes. He's got to get it in, dive it, and then look for the inside again to go to the left. And then just as he's come out on the left-hand side as well, he's going to go left again, drop down another little bit of a dip there as well, and then through the right. And this is the corner that they've got to try and take with as much bravery as they can. And you can see there, Pocock did take it, as it's taken him 5 minutes to possibly get a time on the board as Caleb Bellick goes pole on a 2:25.80. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a long one today for these drivers. They're going to have to try and just keep it on track, I think. I think it could well be, and try and stay in consideration with the people in front of them, I think, on this one, Cowy.
It was interesting looking at Scott as he came down through the roller coaster there. When I did a little bit of a test drive before, I decided to stay off those last 2 curbs. But Scott sort of showed there that you don't want to just clip them, you want to straddle them almost. So, you know, you pretty much, you know, cut them in half, those 2 sort of curbs on the corners there going into that last straight. And even the last one, it almost looked like he jumped straight over the top of it and put a time on the board. So obviously there's no 1X there either.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think with certain curbs, you've got to do it in certain ways, right? We know down at Road Atlanta, when you start going around turn 5, you either take all of the curb on the exit or you take none of it. You can't half it, because if you half it, the wheels will lock up, you're off balance, you'll spin round. Same with Red Bull Ring, coming around the final corner, there's a curb there, sausage curb down the middle that you can either straddle or leave it alone. Because if you don't leave it alone, again, you're going to go round. So there's got to be a bond almost with the curb. You either say, okay, I'm going to take all of you, or I'm going to take none of you. Because either way, something's going to unsettle the car. So it's a tough decision.
That's what it comes down to. It's more about how I think the rear of the car sort of handles those bumps. So if you sort of you're sort of clipping it, and the rear cops a little bit more than the front, then suddenly the rear lifts starts to rotate you and you're gone.
And that's the thing, isn't it? It's like anything, if you've got two wheels up on the curb, you've got two wheels up in the air, well, you've only got 2 points of contact on the track. And at the end of the day, that's never good for anyone, because as we know, when you've only got 2 points of contact on the track, you're not getting the full grip level. The car's unsettled, it will just go horribly wrong. And unfortunately, for some of these guys, it looks like, as we've only got sort of 14 cars with a time on the board at the moment, it has gone a little bit Pete Tong for some of them. Pocock, hopefully, should get a time on the board this time around here. But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting one. Philip Vella, the XR8 won't be a classic. Ray Douglas, the XR8 split will be. And Doug Gowan's looking forward to this tonight. Well, there you go, Doug. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Don't forget, like, subscribe, turn on the bells, and do all that other fancy jazz that we can do on YouTube for completely free. But yeah, interesting one, Cowy. Should be a good one, but we never know.
Well, look, I mean, watching sort of one car at a time at the moment as these guys sort of trying to get a lap down, and they're not even really worrying about trying to maximise the tow for, a better quality time. I think even when the race comes down, it's all going to be about avoiding the carnage and try to get through that first lap cleanly, because cold tyres, these are a handful.
Oh, yeah. It's like any, aren't they? It's like Bambi on ice, you know what I mean? You might as well just sit there and pray that you're not going to slip and slide all over the place, because at the end of the day, you've got to think of a consideration of the situation where you think, right, I'm cold. They're not on very wide tyres. We're not talking 18 inches here. And at the end of the day, it's going to be a lot less than that. So they've got to make sure that they have got them up to temperature here as well. So could be, the starts are going to be important. I think for them, they've just got to make sure that they make it through turn one, because turn one is quite difficult. It's obviously a back on yourself 90-degree hairpin. So they've got to make sure that they do complete turn one at least, and then go away and battle. And I think that's the situation after that. They've got to make sure they make it through turn one.
I know when you were describing the car earlier, I thought, the perfect analogy is if you had a cucumber and you put toothpicks through it and stuck some jacks on either end. That's about what this car is, because the tyres are tiny. There's not a huge weight transference, but the rear of the car can just light up. As you said, not a lot of power in these things, but enough to light it up and really rotate that rear before you even sort of think it's going to go, it starts to. All right, so we are coming inside the last few seconds of this qualifying, and it's Sam Chapman that has jumped to the top of the leaderboard with a 2:20.03, so he's about just under 2/10 on Caleb Bellick at the moment. Scott Pocock running wide there again.
Yeah, it looks like a couple of people have had a little bit of an issue to basically be able to get this these laps sorted out here, as we are in Heat 1 here. These guys are only in a 1200cc. I don't really know, cockpit, monocoque, whatever you want to whatever you want to call it. So they haven't got a lot of them between them, but look, there are motorbikes that probably go quicker than these cars, right? Let's face it that way. So I think at the end of the day, they've gone into this, they've gone to have a go, and that's all that we can ask of them, is go and have a go in something fun. I drove the FF 1600. Mate, I had a great time. It was a great car. I could throw it around. It was sticking. It was doing everything I wanted to do until I didn't go and full straddle a curb, and I ended up spinning round. So there we go. That's my driving ability here, Cowy. Anyway, at the best of times, to be fair, mate. But I don't know. I just think it's going to be an interesting one here as well. But let's bring up the grid and get this one going here as well. As you can see, Sam Chapman is on pole with Caleb Bellick in second. Scott Pocock in third with Daniel Byrne on fourth. Rounds out row 2. On row 3, it's Adrian Loretti and Darren Fahey there as well. On row 4, Jason Madden and Bradley Cheney. Row 5 is John Schultz and Jason Douglas. In row 6 is Peter Ziedler and Martin Walker. On row 7, Chai Philo and Carl Stevens. Then row 8 is Di Feldman and Kevin Wakefield. And then on row 9 is Mike Rush and Steve Heaton. Row 10, Stephen Sinkovich there as well, alongside Greg Barber. Then we've got Dean Sinkovich and Graham Dooley. They're all on this one. So it's going to be definitely an exciting one. Get Heat 1 underway very, very shortly. Cowy, what do we think is going to happen here?
I think they're going to try and go 4 wide into T1, and it's going to be messy. It's going to be interesting. There's a few guys that were, on the pace last week at Okayama that are at the back. As you said, not everyone getting a lap down for qualifying, but Dean Sinkovic right at the back of the field. And, he was out, he got a podium for Team SRW last week. So, interesting. At the moment, his brother Stephen has the spot on him, but still waiting for racing, so it's not decided yet. Jason Douglas, he had a first outing last week in the Formula V and liked it. I think he had some contact that cost him a better position in that first race. But also you can see some of the other names from the F3s: Daniel Byrne, Adrian Louis, Darren Fahey, Caleb, and a few of the other boys that race the F3s on Wednesday night, also jumping in here to join us for the Motorsports Australia Formula V Nationals.
We're just going to be getting this underway very, very shortly. Ray Douglas is Jace's first go in these Formula Vs this year, so see how we go. And then Doug, he will catch on quick. He is fast in everything. Fair play to that one as well. I'm giving a shout out to Marty Walker, old school friend, only new to iRacing. P7, nice. There we go.
P12.
Yeah, I've got
all right.
P12 as well. So lights are coming on now as well. We've got Sam Chapman sitting on pole, and we are green here for the Formula V Motorsport Australia Nationals live from VIR, and it is Chapman who has got away straight away at the beginning here, heading down into turn 1. Darren Fahey side by side at the moment as well with the 808 machine, which is Daniel Byrne here, as they're all going to go round. I think they've all made it round turn 1 here, which is great to see, but it's Fahey taking it side by side at the moment, Cowy, up through into turn 3, which is of course NASCAR bend here as well before they go into left hook turn 4 and 5.
Jason Madden had a good start there too and made up a spot on the inside. He's now on the outside here in P6, I think it is. But as you can see already, who's that running wide there? Was that Schultz. Darren Fahey? I think they've got Schultz. Oh no, there's contact. And that's Loretti that's gone into the tyres. Looks like he's going to be able to get that going, but he's going to have to wait for the whole field to go by.
Is unfortunately for Adrian Loretti. That's never a good mix there. Jason Madden in that number 6 pink-nosed machine here. He's trying to chase down Fahey, and he is having a good old battle at the moment. So is Byrne and Pocock. They're on their way now through turn 10, into 11 and 12, where the oak tree used to stand. It got struck by lightning in real life and got taken out, and now it is not there anymore. So no more oak tree.
Oh, they recently updated VIR and iRacing, I think a couple of seasons ago, and when the tree was gone, I think it was a little tear, because that was sort of one of the great things about this track. I didn't know that it was hit by lightning, and the real reason.
Yep.
I thought they'd take it out for safety because someone hit it.
No, apparently it got hit by lightning, got split, and then it was removed for safety reasons. Unless I completely misheard the rumour or the story, and it could have quite...
Oh, look at this double... Go 4 wide as we come up to the coaster. That was awesome. There was like double file. Yeah. They were trying to get whatever they could out of the toe. Good battle there between Madden and Pocock, and Madden getting the position Fahey. So I think that was Pocock that fell a couple of spots there, got caught on the outside, but there's some good racing, and we're still only on lap 1.
Bradley Cheney sitting in 7th. He's got Pocock in front of him with Madden as well. We've got Ballack and Chapman there running right behind each other. Then we're going 2 wide with Byrne and Fahey behind that one as they're going side by side. Byrne's going to have the inside there as well. It looks like Wakefield may have just gone off the outside of the track. Byrne swatch, he switched to the outside here as well. Big send from Madden. Big send from Madden. He came from so far back there. It wasn't the local postal service, it was FedEx. He come from that far away. I can tell you that much there for Byrne, and he has done a great job. He sent it up the inside at the moment with Pocock there behind him, and Bradley Cheney misses out. Graham Dooley, Steve Heaton, Sinkovic and Schultz all look like they've been involved in a little bit of a ta-ta-ta at the further back of the grid here as well. But great racing from these guys up in front. Madden, Byrne, Pocock and Cheney still going at each other, and we still got Chapman and Ballack out in front.
While Doug Gowan's noting the big gap that the two front runners had got on this little battle pack here, but that's because you've got 5-6 cars fighting, and the moment you start fighting each other, you're just going to give away lap time. So I think maybe at the moment it is Chapman and Bellac that are just, you know, filing in behind each other, you know, maybe waiting for a mistake, but not really looking to make any moves so that they can work together and gap this field.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to try here, as Byrne is literally trying everything. He's weeping from left to right. He's trying to go up the inside of 11 and 12 over Madden now as well. They're almost tyre banging coming out, but Madden has managed to hold it. This is where, for Fahey, he's going to send it if he can. 3 wide here. We've got enough circuit here for 5 wide if they really want to, but who's going to be brave enough out of Fahey or Cheney? It does look like Cheney's going to be the first to blink. He is going to try and go 3 wide coming down this long straightaway as we're going into the coaster. We are 3 wide. We are 3 wide here at VAR going down into this coaster now. How is this one going to turn out? Who's going to back out first? Hold your breaths. It's going to be all of them. None of them. Oh, Cheney.
Oh, what great action. But just contact there between, I think that was Fahey and Zeidler, I think, is it?
I think it's Fahey and Douglas at the back end, isn't it?
Douglas, yeah, that's his too.
Oh, dearie me, that was almost there. They almost made it. The front two, Ballack and Chapman, are still working together. These guys are no holds barred, no retreat, no surrender. It is full Formula V send action here as well. And we've got Byrne, Ziedler, Pocock and Madden battling it out once more on that run down into turn 1. There's Madden again. He seems so quick round turn 1. Byrne just can't stop him coming through. That's the problem. I don't know what it is with Madden, but whatever it is, he's doing it. Absolute blinded job through into turn 1.
I think that was just sort of a showing of 2 different techniques here. So Byrne broke early and tried to carry a bit more momentum through the mid-speed of the corner and actually got a better exit. But we saw how much that Madden and Zeidler and that closed in under brakes as they sort of pushed it a little bit more and tried to use that outside line for the momentum.
Ziedler, Douglas, Fahey and Walker here. Now that's the group of 4. Madden has kind of escaped at the moment as well. They're jinking around. They're going to be 4 wide again, or are we going to be 3 wide? How is this one going to work out as they're coming up through 7, 8 and 9? You can see there's Ziedler in the left. He's squeezed in there as well. He's coming back on. We've got Fahey on the inside. Now we've got Byrne hanging on. Oh, there's contact.
Oh, no. That was such a great battle there, and Jace Douglas falling afoul of that, unfortunately, by the looks of it. Now back in 11. I think he's got going.
Yeah, it's Douglas.
And it was just close racing there, and you sense that, you know, even though the track is wide enough for 5 of them, you know, 3 can't fit into the apex.
But you tried telling them that. Because I don't want to have a go, but we've got Fahey and Ziedler now as well. The problem is this pack was a 5-pack, and now you can see they're spread out due to little bits of contact or little drop-offs. You know, Cheney in the background as well. It looks like he's just passed Philo there as well, who has got... Oh, no, he has still got his nose. Yeah, Philo's coming through as well. He can take him through on Cheney. Fahey and Pocock now running side by side as well. That's Fahey and Ziedler, sorry, in the 008 machine once again. And Byrne is being closed up by Madden. Watch Madden's entry into turn 1. He is absolutely rapid. And before he knows it, he comes around the outside of Byrne. And I don't know if Byrne's going to be able to do a lot about it. Watch this. It is incredible how much speed he carries on here.
Well, that's it again. Byrne is, I think, maybe...
Look.
It might have been the toe, but yeah, look, he's just able to carry that momentum. Byrne's holding the inside.
And then he comes off the
definitely
exit.
Wide enough for, definitely wide enough for 2 through there and through this whole section. And it's going to be Madden that will put his nose back in front. But look, again,
That's
Byrne carrying more momentum.
Oh, back marker.
Oh, he's done well. He's done well there.
I don't know who that is. That's Steve Heaton.
Stephen Hansen.
Yes. Oh, stay where you are. He was like, please stay there. Stay there.
No, well done, Steve. I mean, you don't have to get completely out of the way, but you did the right thing. Just hold your line, drive your line, and let them make the pass.
Yeah. However scary it might seem for us up here in the booth here, Byrne, Madden and Pocock now are running within this pack again. We have got Caleb and Chapman. They're not really doing a lot up front at the moment. They're just kind of almost following each other to break away as we've got the first 8.5 minutes. But the guys behind, well, they don't really care. They are throwing the car at each other, left, right and centre. We've had spirins, we've had pirouettes from Douglas. It's all been a bit dramatic in this 5-pack that we did have here as well. Ziedler now chasing down on Fahey once again. He's now looking at the outside line as they're on that run down into the roller coaster. There goes Ziedler. Job done. Job's a good one. See you later. Thank you very much. As Fahey's now slops in behind him. Philo here and Douglas. Douglas obviously coming back through the field after having an incident earlier on, but that was just close racing. I think we put it down to Cowy on that one.
Well, as Doug has said out there, Jace, keep going because P10 means a pole start for the reverse top 10 race. So definitely something that, Chinny's just got a little bit deep. Lots of break there. Who's that also? That's deep. That's Martin Walker. Yeah, so just very easy to do that in any car at the roller coaster. And looks like Ziedler coming into the pits is at a drive-through. It is contact with car 87, so that was with Jace Douglas. First penalty for the night.
Yeah, what has Jason Madden been up to? I'm quite interested to see why he's registered that he's had a bit of a crash. Did he? Oh boy, oh boy.
Oh no, just that rear. He's done well to hold it. But the rear, that's what I mean. You carry just that little bit too much speed into the corner. And I always find in these sort of cars, or a lot of the Formula cars, as a result, that's a nice move there.
I can see it now. That was Loretti coming back through the field. He definitely made an opportunity. He took out, nearly went through 2 for 1 at the one corner there for Loretti. So a great job from him. But boy, oh boy, did he come from a long way back on that one as well, as he cleared Di Feldman and Schultz there. So great job from Loretti. But boy, oh boy, was it hold on by the seat of your pant moment there, as he decided to take the inside line. But Loretti coming back through. And now we've got Cheney and Douglas battling out here. And so great action here on lap 5. We've got 10 minutes remaining of this 20-minute heat as well here. So action, Cowy, all the way through the field.
It is, and just talking about that loss back there before of the rear, I mean, it's so hard to cook it, and I struggle to find where the limit is. These things, we talked about it earlier, how hard it is to find the limit. And these boys here, they certainly look like they're throwing everything at it. So they're, look at this, over under, a little bit of a nose bump there. Lifted the front of the car. It has cost him momentum, Cheney, and that's going to give Chai a chance to make a move up the inside in the toe. So, well, it's a long lap, but there's certainly plenty happening out there, JP.
Yeah, there definitely is. They're almost going 3 wide again here. Oh, he's going to try. They're going to come up over the hill towards us now into this roller coaster sector, and Cheney does make it through. Douglas there as well. I think Philo is also there. Fahey is unfortunately gone round. Darren Fahey. Oh no.
That was from P5. He was in that battle with Pocock and Madden.
All on his own.
And Byrne.
All on his own. There he goes.
And just again, just pushing that a little bit too hard. Same spot too.
Yeah, it seems to be that corner, seems to be the problem, but we've got Douglas and Cheney running side by side. We've got Philo tucked in right behind him as well. He's going to look at making it 3 wide coming down here into turn 1. Cheney's on the brakes. Philo tries to go up the inside. Don't lock wheels. Douglas runs all the way round the outside. He turns around and says, I'm not getting anywhere near you, son. And now he's going to be side by side on the run down into turn 3, which of course is NASCAR bend here, the left-hander, before we go into left hook, which is 4 and 5 on that run out through 5A and then through the snake of 6, 6A and 7. So great racing still with Cheney and Douglas here, with Philo tucked in right behind him as well.
Here we go again. Too wide through the S's. And Philo looking for a spot. He's got a nice run there. I think maybe just got checked a little bit by Jace.
Oh, no.
And yes, big evening to you too, Matty. Glad to have you.
They're going to... Oh, 3 wide through 7, 8 and 9. How did they just come out of that one up unscathed there, Cowy?
Oh, and Jace's car did a little big jiggle as it went through there, and he somehow caught it and now going up the inside. But we'll see here, Cheney looking for the big run. Looks like it's actually, yep, he's got a good run. Philo was probably looking for that run as well, but didn't quite nail it, and now he's got Cheney breathing right down his neck.
Oh, hold it, hold it. We're alongside now as well. You can see there is Philo on our left-hand side on that run down into the roller coaster. We're closing up on Douglas. We are rapidly closing on Douglas now as well. Is Philo going to be able to hold the inside line? Is he going to be able to hold it? They're going to lock with... Oh, Douglas. Oh, Cheney makes it up the inside. Philo missed it a little bit there. He went in too hot. Cheney said, thank you very much. And now him and Douglas are going at it once more here. The leaders, well, yes, we do have leaders out there currently at the moment, but Chapman and Bellick, they have literally done this for the first in complete 7 laps here, but these guys are swapping positions here, Cowy, as well. We do have leaders, guys, but they're not really doing a lot at the moment. They are just battling away, where these guys...
I think given another minute or two, we're almost 15 minutes into this race. You get down to the last 2 or 3 minutes and we'll be watching the front two, because they have been glued together constantly. But this is where the action has been, in the mid-pack. Guys swapping positions. I was going to call out who are the big movers so far, but everyone's moving constantly. It would have been a moot point.
Yeah, you would have been there saying he's up 3, down 3, round 1, who knows here as well. But, you know, there is some movers. Chino and Philo's up 5, right? Let's give you a rough idea where they are. Mike Rush is up 4, Douglas. Oh, Cheney there as well. Just too much power. Around he goes. Kevin Wakefield and Dean Sinkovich are going at it as well. Looks like Stevens had a little bit of a drama and unfortunately he's dropped out there as well. Steven Sinkovich is still moving, but he's all the way down the field in 19th. Fahey now going at it with Martin Walker and Philo in front of us. Jason Douglas has kind of escaped a little bit, which is great for him because the last thing he wants to do is get caught up in these 2 pockets of free here as well, Cowy. It's going to be an interesting finish over the last 4.5 minutes.
Well, the action is here in that mid-pack, but Bellac and Chapman, they're starting to run. They're probably now, they've got a big enough lead that they can start to fight each other. They've got 3 seconds over Daniel Byrne, who has closed that down a fair bit. That's a further 2 seconds back to Scott Pocock and Jason Madden. Well, that was that great early battle pack between the 3 of them, but they've now spaced out. Having a look here, Darren Fahey getting a run up the outside of Martin Walker. Is he going for a 2-for-1 deal here? I think it is, but wait, there is more. And 3 fighting back.
We're going to go 3 wide. We are.
And it was Philo that swept through the inside there to hang on to that position. So great stuff.
That looks so weird as Chapman and Pocock are into the pits here. It looks so weird there because it looked like Fahey backed out, but then that left Martin Walker with nowhere to go because Walker wasn't quite sure what was going on either. So unfortunately...
Do we need a pit stop? Do we need a pit stop for this race? Because there's no black flag there, and that was Sam Chapman. He's pitted from the lead of this race.
I can only presume that would be the reason as well. That's the only thing. The reason there as well. But Bellick out in front now with Byrne, Madden, Fahey, and Philo. I don't think they should need a pit stop here unless they've not put fuel in. Or enough fuel.
It could, maybe somewhere in admin's wisdom, they've turned this into a fuel-saving race, which would make it just another extra dynamic that we were completely unaware of. We'll have to keep an eye out, because if the rest of the field pit next lap, then that is the case. Otherwise, I can only think that Sam had a bit of damage.
Yeah, but not half the field, mate. Chapman's gone in. Pocock's gone in. Martin Walker, Cheney, Schultz is in. Loretti's gone in. Carl Stevens has gone in. Here as well.
Can you hurt the car with the curbs? Perhaps he's done damage there. That is interesting.
Trying to see. Yeah,
could it be tactical as well? You know,
tactical.
Just drive through the pits. Say, well, you'd take a win, wouldn't you? You wouldn't give up a win just to give yourself a start up front for the second race.
They're running 100% engine. They're running 100% fuel.
So if it's an open setup, then he just hasn't put enough fuel in, miscalculated. Perhaps both Chapman and Pocock have got their fuel calculations wrong.
Burns in as well.
Or our race controller Greg's saying he looks like the fixed setup is limited on fuel. So it has brought a pit strategy into our 20-minute race here tonight.
Right.
That is interesting. So
Philo's in.
A tyres option?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Chapman's now coming. I think he's going to go back into second. But the thing is, Bellick is still not pitted. So, and he's on the last lap. Right?
He was sitting in the toe of Chapman.
And he was sitting there for ages.
So has that given him enough to get that extra lap and get home? Wow.
Well, we're going to find out, aren't we? As he's on his run
are.
through 6, 8 and through the Snake and down in through 7, 8 and 9 before they go into South Bend. It looks like Bellick has managed to do that. Byrne and Chapman there as well, as Byrne's not long been out of the pits here. Bellick is the only man to have not pitted. If he's fuel saved all the way through, go Caleb Bellick. Stellar job from you, dear sir.
Awesome.
Yeah, if you're lifting and coasting here as well, just see if he can cut off or
nothing dramatic. Just wonder if look, this thing we know is probably only using a litre a lap or thereabouts, maybe 1.2 or 1.3. If you're in a tow, surely that would save you a 0.1 or 0.2 of a litre per lap. And we saw before down this back straight, the tow was enough for you to easily come up alongside and even get a run past. So maybe that's where he's just been letting out of it, staying in behind, and saved the bucket load.
Wow.
Will make race number 2 very interesting to see who else comes on with that tactic.
Well, if they're not going to come on with that tactic, they need to. Because clearly it's worked out for Caleb Bellick, the only man who has not pitted. He's coming round the final.
Clutching there.
Yeah, he's coming round the final.
He was clutching there too.
Final corner. This should be the checkered flag by my calculations. And Caleb Bellick looks like he is going to take the opening victory here in race 1 as we look anxiously for Barney, the flag man that can here as well. The strongest right arm in iRacing. As Caleb Bellick. There it is. There it is.
And he's coasting over the line
as well. Oh, Caleb Bellick.
He's out of fuel.
He's got nothing left.
He's just clutching it.
Oh,
wow.
Well, there we go. Caleb Bellick completely out of fuel. Clutching in 4th just to be able to get round. He's not going to make the parade lap, so he's going to have to wave at everybody as he comes through. But Philo and Walker are 2 men who do have fuel here. And fair play to them. They're on their run down now as well. Down into the roller coaster we go. Philo on the right. He has just got past Walker. Genie and Schultz are on their way down to the line. They're going to be neck and neck all the way down here as well. Who's going to get it? Is it going to be Genie? Is it going to be Schultz? It looks like it could be Schultz this time around as he comes over the line. So well done to Schultz there. Martin Walker and Philo still not giving up on each other here, Cowy.
We've also missed what happened to Jace Douglas because he was running at about 8th or 7th and he's now back in 13th. So this is Martin Walker coming through to Cole Stevens locking out P10 like Daniel Byrne. Daniel Byrne was up in P4. So was there a moment between Byrne and Douglas or he was higher up as well?
I am just trying to see. Byrne went into the pits, which we saw.
So just a longer stop? Maybe just a longer stop?
No, Byrne crashed.
Oh.
Not quite sure what.
Oh no, he's run out of fuel, is he?
Must have run out of fuel.
What's happened? Ah.
Yeah, he's got nothing left. So that's how Byrne ended up where he is. We're just waiting for Sinkovic to come over the line. Dean, of course, here as well. And then we've got Ziegler, Byrne, Dooley and Heaton coming there as well. I think it's actually just that Byrne's not even made it.
He tried to. Oh no, sorry, he was upside down. So those two tried to do the same thing as Bellac and, just couldn't make it work.
But they've been in the pits. Byrne and Ziegler have been in. Too. Yeah, Byrne and Ziegler have been into the pits. You can see he's trying to get a push here from Fahey as he's going to go. You've got a long way to push him, buddy. But there you go. That is the end of race 1. We will be able to bring you up the heat here. The results. And it was Caleb Bellick, the only man who has done it without a pit stop there, who followed Sam Chapman for pretty much 90% of this race, takes the victory. Chapman in second, Pocock third, Madden in fourth with Fahey in fifth. Then you've got Schultz and Chile in sixth and seventh, Loretti in eighth, Stevens in ninth with Marty Walker in 10th. Tiafilo in 11th, Jason Douglas, Di Feldman down in 11th, 12th and 13th. Kevin Wakefield, Mike Rush, Dean Sinkovic, Steven Sinkovic, Daniel Byrne, and Peter Ziedler on the back end of that one. And then behind that as well is Graham Dooley, and with Stephen Heaton finishing 4 laps down. So, well, now we know what sort of race we're in for.
It was entertaining. That's what it was. And now that spice of the fuel strat in there now for this second race tonight, is that going to mean we're going to see less attempts at passes? Are people going to be maybe trying to save a bit now and work as a team? Does that mean if you're out front, are you going to want to just get out of the way and let other people through so you can do a bit of saving too? Is this going to turn into the Tour de France in the Formula V's?
What with the peloton? The one out in the front.
Yeah, that's right. Working the peloton.
Yeah, you go, I go, you go, I go. We'll swap, we'll swap, we'll swap. Who's going to do what? Who's going to take the lead? Well, Marty Walker is on pole here as well. And I think a lot of people have got confused by the fact that we did actually have a pit stop here to go and deal with. So, yeah, some interesting racing, some interesting, I don't really know here. Fuel saving by Caleb. I was a bit lost by all of that. There was so much going on.
I'm interested to talk to Caleb to find, did he work that out early on and was that part of his strategy to stay in there? Because obviously he had the pace probably to pass Chapman there at points because he, I was looking at that timing tower the whole way through the race and he barely let Chapman get more than about a 10th away from him. So that was right up underneath the nose. Is that what it takes to save enough fuel to get home? I mean, because that's some pretty close driving to be able to run within a 10th for an entire race.
Yeah. He was literally tucked up right behind him, wasn't he? He couldn't have got any closer, to be honest. Doug Gowans might be a few cars by the side of the track out of fuel by the end of this one. I agree, Doug. I've got to think. I agree as well. Yeah.
It's an interesting rule in SRW that you need to complete a cool down lap to get back to the pits and the start line. Otherwise, you get a pit lane or a rear of grid start for the next race. So we may end up with several rear of grids for next week if they try to do this in one stint, because Caleb definitely didn't have any more to get around. I mean, he was fluttering over the line.
Yeah, this is the grid for race 2. We'll bring it up quickly here as well. Martin Walker in first place there as we are up and running. Underway there, as it did say, we had 2 minutes left, and now we haven't got any. As Andrew Loretti takes the lead currently at the moment. Walker sitting in second in the run down into turn 1 here. How is this all going to pan out? Are they all going to make it through? We did say it was one of the vital points that they do make it through. There's 3 and 4 wide tucked in. Bellick's picked his victim already, and it looks like Caleb Bellick is trying it once more here as he's trying to look for somebody to pick up between as he's trying to work his way to the front. And at the moment, that is Douglas in front of us there as well, with Sam Chapman also in the mix currently on the run now as well. It's all getting very tight here. It was ready. Douglas is on.
Douglas. I was going to say Madden's a bit of a cold tyres demon there. I don't know if there was contact, but Madden's showing lots of pace early on, but Jace Douglas spun right to the back, and it's going to make it.
Douglas is right the way down the field, isn't he? He's all the way down in 17th place now. So Walker and Cheney and Loretti are your front 3. Then we've got Bellick and Stevens there. The problem is Bellick's person he was drafting is not up the front with him. He's in 7th place battling away with James Madden here. Where's Bellick going to go on this one? Is he going to turn around and go, I'm just going to go for it because my main competitor is further back? I've got nobody to draft here. He's just got to go. Try and see if he can get enough time away.
Another car spun there. Who's that? That's off.
Chapman
in the background, so I think there might have been contact there as well. But it's...
Yeah, there was a little bit... I do wonder how much contact there was, though.
Yeah, if there is, it was tiny. No, I think he... don't know. Not from that view. That'll be one for race control to have a look at if it's called out, but that does put him well back as well now in the field. But it's going to be interesting because it's still going to be faster running in a pack if you've got a teammate that's that's not fighting you. In this case, everyone's still jostling for position, so they'll be holding each other up, and we're going to end up with a battle pack of 8 cars here soon.
Yeah, we definitely are, but we're going to go side by side at the moment with Bellick and Cheney here going down into turn 1. It looks like Steven Sinkovich has had a bit of an incident going around the final corner there as well. He was on the hog pen turn, and unfortunately it looks like he's dropped down the order now as well. Loretti out in front, Cheney and Bellick are still... Cheney locked up.
I think that was Steven.
Yeah, Madden's going to come through the middle. Going to try and take it 3 wide. He does make it through. James Madden, the opportunist, did an absolute stellar job there as well. And now there's just pick it up from race 1 here, I think, Cowy, on this one, buddy.
There was a little check-up there, I think, from Kyle Stevens, and that created a heart-and-throat moment there for Cheney and Madden. But they've done well and got through there now, and they're putting on the pace, trying to chase down Caleb, who, hasn't got a teammate to break away, though it is a little bit of a 1.5 second breakaway that Adrian Loretti and Caleb Bellick have at the moment. But behind him is the action Pocock, Fahey, Byrne. That's another nice battle happening there. I think it's Byrne. It's just swapped spots there with Walker. I think he's just past him. And up the inside here.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what
red and white machine
Cheney was up to there. He just drove straight over the corner. Seemed a little bit bizarre for me. But there you go. Look at now. Bellick tucked up behind Loretti. Is he going to pull the same thing again that we've seen in race 1?
If Loretti's got the pace, I would not be surprised to see Caleb. It's worked once.
It will work again. I don't think it's not an opportunity that they can't make it work. But we've got 2 wide, 2 deep coming down towards us here as well. We've got Cheney, we've got Pocock all in the mix. We've got Madden in there. We've got Byrne bringing up the rear end as well as he slots in behind Madden. I would pick Madden as my target of choice, to follow, because he was rapid through turn one, and whatever line he was taking, I would take exactly the same, because whatever it was working out here. I think Belec's going to do this again, you know. I've got a funny feeling he's going to sit behind Loretti and just do it again, because why not?
Well,
right?
As Ray mentioned, that the cool down lap, that maybe comes a factor, because does Belak want a rear grid for next race?
Well, there we go. As they go three wide with Madden and Byrne.
Oh, lock up.
Geeney's in there as well. Stevens is in there. Burns on the inside trying to muscle his way through. I think ends up going off the side of the circuit. We've now got Madden. He's chasing down on Pocock with Fahey, Geeney, Stevens and Byrne behind it. So, yeah, these guys are going to go at it. I don't think... Do you know what, Ray? I would be very surprised if that cool-down lap rule come in. Because that would be, for me, just ludicrous.
3 minutes in this track, yeah.
That would be ludicrous. You're running on the bare limits as it is, and then you're expecting them to do a cool-down lap on a 2:20-minute. No, Caleb's just pulled a master stroke out. Don't punish the poor man. Don't punish him, race control. You cannot do it. No, you can't do it. I'm sorry. Cool-down lap on a 2:20 track. That's ridiculous.
Well, unfortunately, Fahey's going to have to leave this battle pack very soon. He's been given a black flag for contact with car 981 early on. So who was that? That was... can't see what number that is. Apologies.
No, it's not 987.
Yeah, it must. Oh, the car with car... Maybe it was car 98.
So who was that?
918. There you go. So that was contact with Sam Chapman. So that's why what happened to Sam Chapman. It was contact. Race control deemed it was Darren's fault. Like they just got the number around the wrong way when they typed it in the chat there. So that's all right. And Doug thinks that no, he won't be able to do it again. Caleb will have to pit. You reckon? Okay. Well, that will be interesting to see, because at the moment he is staying tucked up under Adrian Loretti, much like he did in race number 1.
Yep.
Oh, contact there. I think that was that Madden? No, it was Shy Philo.
Yeah.
And
Fahey and Geeney. Yeah, they're coming in now. They're going to dip down,
come flying through there. Yeah, look. Just lost. Geeney slid out.
Yeah.
Would have been perfect if there was no other car there, but unfortunately Fahey was right where he needed that bit of track, and contact as a result.
Yeah, unfortunately for them guys, they had made contact there as well, as we got Ziedler and Stevens and Walker and Byrne and Geeney and Pocock and Madden here as well. Up the front, we've got Belek doing the Belek thing. That's what we can call this now as well. As you can see, there is the car in front of us at the moment. That is Adrian Loretti. We are on the run through the left hook. Now we're coming in through 5, which is the snake section here as well. Aptly named because of the wiggle nature of it here. And Belek is tucked up once again. We're getting as close as we possibly can. Look at the engine. It's no bigger than my lawnmowers here as well. In these little Formula Vs, they're hurtling down here as well. Doing an absolute stellar job here. Great battling from these guys. Awesome fights here materialising as well. And at the moment, Loretti and Belek. Belek's going to do this again, buddy. He really is going to do it again.
Yeah. He's not clutching. Oh, he's not clutching that I could hear.
No, I think he's just lifting off.
You know, sort of three-quarter throttle and points, just maintaining that little sort of gap there.
Just use the draft as much as you can here for Belek, and I think at the end of the day, the people have got to be aware that he is going to come at them once more. We have got Pocock, though, closing in. Madden's also closing in. Madden is just going full hell to leather, and Belek's going to sit there and say, off you go, son. You know what I mean? You don't need to make sure.
Is Loretti lifting as well, knowing that that's exactly what Belek was trying to do? So Loretti may be making sure I'm not going to tow you around here for you to get home on my draft. And at the moment, Jason Madden has moved to the front, so maybe Loretti can use a bit of the same. But yeah, I think maybe you might see some pack tactics here. Loretti's backed him up into the pack so that they can't do that, to get him to do that save. And at the moment, a couple of early stoppers. So Loretti and is that Pocock?
Yeah, Pocock's in the pit lane. as well. Sinkovic, Ziedler's in. Douglas is still on his way round. Belo's on his way round as well. Stevens, Byrne, Ballack and Madden. Now, Belek's being chased down with Byrne. What's Belek going to do here? Is he going to pull that same fuel strategy that he did for the first 20 minutes, the first race, of course? Or is he going to sit there and wonder if he can make it this time?
Bradley Cheney's been given a black flag for that contact there as well. I think the lucky thing for those guys is it wasn't just one of them that went into the pit. There's 3 or 4 of them, so they're going to be able to maybe form a little bit of a pack, and if they work together, that may well be a deciding factor if they can work together and keep the pace up.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, isn't it? But what are they going to do? I still think Belek's going to try it again. I think there's no reason why he shouldn't. He's never gone to the lead. He's not broken the air. He's got Byrne sat in behind him as well, giving him a push along if he needs to. So for Belek there, just sit there, hope and pray, and see how you get on. What's he gonna do? Come out? He'll go into the lead, come into the final lap. He might have enough time to go in, splash and dash, and still come out in front, Cowan.
Well, is Madden going to do... Because I really think Adrian maybe did back him up into the pack there before. But Madden, he's got to the front and he's had some great battles tonight. Is he going to just drive with the bit between the teeth and drive it hard, which is exactly what Belak wants? He needs someone fast up front to drag him around to make that fuel strategy work.
And he's doing it again. He's got 9 minutes on the clock and he's just not doing anything other than sitting in here, the front three. We've got Martin Walker and Douglas going side by side as we've got purple on the right of Walker, Douglas in the black on the left here as well as they're coming now down into this roller coaster section. Who's going to be able to get it? Martin Walker does. Douglas seems a bit quicker. He's going to go up the inside. Ow! He didn't there as well. I thought Douglas was going to send it. Madden's in. Belek's on his own. Oh, Byrne's in, Madden's in, and Belek's on his own. Has he saved enough?
It's pretty early on. I don't know if he can do this, mate. Well, if we go on board and just have a listen and see if he's really clutching it. No big clutch lift there. Maybe he rolled out of it a little bit.
I don't think he is. I don't think he is.
Full attack there.
Yeah, I think he's trying to get away. He needs about 30 seconds. Over Philo is not pitted. Douglas not pitted. Do you know the thing here as well for Balak is whether or not he saved enough fuel in the first 6 laps. Don't forget, we've got a very, very long lap here. So if he saved enough fuel within the first 6 laps to go about 4 or 5 laps after Philo, Douglas or Walker, or even 3 laps after these guys, then he should technically have enough time to go in, get pitted, and come out in front, right? Because at the moment, 30 seconds, they say, will take him down to Byrne. Byrne is pitted. Pocock's the first one. So from Pocock down to Belek is only 25 seconds. Of course, his lap time's not going to be 25 seconds because he's going to have a short stop here. So I'm wondering if Belek, over the first 6 laps, has saved enough fuel to go a few extra laps past Philo and past Douglas, which would give him the gap he needs to come out in front.
Even if it doesn't, he will need a shorter fill, even though it's probably only a litre or 2 they're putting back in the car for the extra lap. But, shorter fill generally means shorter time stopped.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Now, Pocock and Byrne here, well, they're still at it. Madden and Cheney, it's pretty much separated behind. I think we've got Rush and Stevens battling together, and I think it was Stevens that just got through there, was it? Yes.
Yeah, Stevens just passed Rush.
Behind him, Dean Sinkovic right on the back of Darren Fahey as well, with the toe down the back straight. This is such a fun track in the supercar. I do love it, the roller coaster section. The car just gets light coming up here. These little pencil weapons.
It's got sharpness.
we've seen that, you know, that's the rear that where, you know, like you can see how gentle they are in that turn in. You know, like, I know, you know, in the supercar, you'd be turning that in hard, riding over and trying to get as far over to the right to open out the next section. Whereas these guys have really been careful with that steering lock because it's so easy to lose the rear.
Yeah, it is.
Full beams from, yeah, I think you're right. So we'll have to keep an eye out when Caleb pits.
I think if he's tried to do what I think he's tried to do, he's got to pit after Philo, Douglas and Walker. If he's tried to do what I think he's tried to do. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm no engineer, right? I'm sat up in the booth, I talk for a living, you know what I mean? And end up having to put peas on my face. I talk that often throughout the day. But I got a funny feeling that for Belek, he tried to save fuel over the first 6 laps that would allow him to go in after Philo, Douglas and Walker. And if that is right, then hey, I'm going to put lottery on because, you know, I'm a mind reader, clearly. But if I'm wrong, well, then I'm just wrong, unfortunately.
Looking at the pit lane times, the guys are spending about between 30 and 40 seconds in the pit lane. You're going to be slowing down, so it's probably going to cost him 50 odd seconds to pit and come out. So that would put him deep in the pack. But we look at it here, it's
don't forget though.
It's only 20, no, it's got to be.
Don't forget, Cowy, he's going to have a shorter fuel stop. He's got less fuel to get in. He's literally going to be going in for a splash and dash over the last 4 minutes, right? So he's going to have a shorter fuel stop, which gives him a shorter pit lane time over the 32, 39, 40 that we've had. So for him, that might work out quite well, as we've got Walker now, Douglas side by side currently in the background as well. We've got Daniel Byrne with James Madden. Douglas does make it through here once again. What's Belek going to do? He's in the pits. He didn't. Well, there you go. I was just wrong.
Well, by my reckoning, he's got about 1:20 here on Scott Pocock. So
Douglas is in as well.
I'm thinking that it's 40, say around 40 seconds for the pit lane time, but then you've also got to count the fact that they're slowing down to the pit limiter at a down the front straight.
He's on his way out. He's on his way out. Hold on, we've got Pocock and Douglas. Belek's on his way out. It's going to be close. It is going to be really close. There is Pocock. There is Byrne. There is Belek. I think he may. Is he going to be able to do it? Can he hold on? He's up to full speed almost as well. He's done it. And Philo's still not got in. And Philo's got a 13-second gap up the front here. So has Chow Philo managed to save enough to get through this? This is like the Krypton factor. Figure this one out here, guys.
I think that after seeing what Caleb did race number 1, the rest of the field have gone, well, there's no way we're letting anyone do that again. We're going to pit mid-race. So that if you're going to try and run in the tail of someone up front, you're going to have to, save, more than just what you get in a tow. You're going to have to, run on your own and try and do it all on your own. So I think a few of the drivers here wise to what was happening. Also, we saw there with now Byrne putting on an attack here on Belak, and looks like he's got that done. But, when you go into the pits, even if you don't change the tyres, they lose temperature because the car's standing still. So, he's had to come out, rejoin, and probably take half a lap just to, get the car to settle again. Whereas the others, well, they've already been out and done 3 or 4 laps since their stop, so they're back in the groove.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, I was wrong on my prediction. So, when is a commentator when am I right, to be honest? But at the end of the day, I think, I don't really know how this is going to work out. I've got to be honest. I'm worried about what Philo's up to here as well, because I don't think he's going to get back out in front here as well. But it depends on what his fuel situation is. He's in now. Here he comes. There's Belek as he's dropping through. So Belek should take the win again here. If he can get out, I think Philo's not going to be able to get out and stopped. Nope, they're coming around the final corner here as well, and it is going to be Belek.
Is this the win, or are we going to get one more lap?
One more.
Keep an eye out for Bunny. Yep.
So
definitely white flag from Barney, is it?
Yeah, white flag lap. We'll see it, yeah, white flag, final lap, Bellick, Pocock and Byrne. It has Byrne's just got the run. He's got the run. He's taking the lead down into turn 1 at the moment. Bellick's still in there. I'm not counting him out. I am not counting him out whatsoever. I'm not going to count out Pocock either. Pocock's now going to come through. Pocock's taking a 2 for 1. This is going to be a humdinger of a final lap. Don't go anywhere. Get your popcorn out and sit back and enjoy this one. This is going to be epic here, Cowy.
Driver 808, Daniel Byrne has got through to the front of this pack. Scott Pocock at the back there. He's got the best view in the house at the moment, and he'd be hoping that he can time it and get maybe a double toe down that straight before the roller coaster section, because it's going to come down to who can make the most of this final run down the straight. You can see here, I reckon Caleb is getting out of that a little bit, running close, but not trying to make a move just yet.
Yep. Doesn't need to yet. You've got to watch Pocock though with the double draft coming down that back straight as they're coming into the oak tree corner. Of course, no oak tree there either on. We did say earlier on it was struck by lightning in real life. It was removed. Then iRacing took it out as well. Now the race is on. Well, this is it.
Oh. Pocock is the one in the... I think he's in the box seat here if he can get the run. At the moment, Bellac getting a great launch out of the back corner there.
Oh, here he comes.
Pocock's got to be careful. He wants to be up the inside. He's taking a wide line. He's going to try and see if he can cut down, I would think. They're boxing him in.
He's boxed in. He can't get through. Pocock there. No, Byrne, don't give up. Don't give up. Oh, no.
Oh.
This is going to be a run to the line.
Bellac.
This is. Bellic's gone wide. Oh, no. Oh. This is going to be a run to the line.
Here he goes. He got enough on it.
Right, this is
I think Bellac, has he done enough to hang on to this? I think he has. It's the toe.
Don't weave. You can't weave. You can't weave. You can't weave. Burton's going to get it down as a line. He's blocked up Pocock. It's going to be... Oh, it's got Burton.
Scott Pocock tried to go on the inside. I don't know if Caleb even saw him there. But I think it was Daniel Byrne that got it done, and Scott Pocock tried to mount him going over the line.
Oh, dearie me. What an epic evening of racing from these three here as well. As they come down to the line, this is what it looked like on board here. You can see from Pocock's point of view, he's got the run. Watch Bellick block him off. Bellick turns around and says, no. Oh, he tries to let he's up in the air.
That may be one that race control looks at for a late move. But
they can't. They were racing.
What it is, it was racing and hard racing. So
they can't do anything about that. Bellick had the opportunity. He was in front as well. So there's no way that he could have. They can't punish him for that.
He's making the attack as well, so maybe that comes a factor as well. Because if he's coming out to try and make the move on Daniel, but yeah, look, it'll be interesting. I didn't hear anything on the radio, so I don't even know if Scott called it out.
No, you can't.
Having a look at the Dean or Steven Sinkovich coming over the line, P18. Up a couple of spots. Where did Dean finish in the 10th, the top 10? So nice there. Di Fieldman having some great fun out here tonight. Certainly has fallen afoul of the trickiness that is VIR in a Formula V.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, as I said to you before, JP, I went out and did a bit of a test drive, and this is by no means an easy track for these cars. And looking at Jason Madden there early on, the speed and the agility he was showing on cold tyres, that was another thing.
You can't, for me, Doug, don't stick up for him. As well as Doug's in YouTube chat saying, yeah, I think so too, Cowy. You can't look at that. You can't look at that. That was fair, hard racing, and they were. You can't, Cowy. You just cannot do it here either. So it's just not possible. Right, let's bring you up the results from this one here as well. And it was Daniel Byrne, your winner. Bellick and Pocock crossed the line. Look at that, 1/10 between the three. And I can safely say, wow. That was it here as well. I was literally up on my feet in my office as well, which was incredible. I got my kids asleep because they're on half term at the moment. I think I might have just woken them up. Jason Madden in 4th, with Philo in 5th, Carl Stevens 6th, Douglas in 7th, Martin Walker 8th, Ziedler in 9th, and Sinkovic, Dean Sinkovic, mind you, rounding out the top 10. Bradley Cheney in 11 with Sam Chapman, Adrian Loretti and Fahey and Wakefield rounding out to 15. Then you got Mike Rush, Graham Dooley behind that one. And then overall, you got Steven Sinkovic and Di Feldman with Stephen Heaton 1 lap down here as well. They cannot, and I swear to God, I will end up in the steward's room if they punish that last last incident here as well. They can't do it. They can't do it.
Well, a good thing, JP, is it's not our call, buddy. That's why we have race control to have a look at it. We have a ticket system. If you don't agree with it, you put in a ticket, and there'll be a different race controllers looking at that incident and adjudicating it. So we try to be as fair as we can. I mean, one of the things is that our race controllers are also racers as well. Greg races on the Friday night, Tyson's racing on the Sunday nights, and quite a few of their sort of helpers and the guys driving the safety car in there assisting in race control. They're all racers, so they're not gonna hand out penalties just for the sake of it, because they're racing against those people as well. So looks like we've got our podium in the green room. Do we want to bring in our P3 finisher in the feature here, Scott Pocock?
Yeah,
or do we want to bring all three of them in? And
I'm checking something here as well, because at the moment we are going into a third race. So
No, they said it was the end of the night.
Right, okay, I'm a little bit confused. So all right.
Yeah, I heard on race control saying it's the end of the night, and a bunch of the drivers have already disconnected from the session. So
right, okay, cool.
That was, it was supposed to be just a two-race, a series, 2 races each night for these guys, and but
we have got Greg exciting racing. Greg's joined us in the booth. Greg, welcome in.
Yeah, g'day guys. So just to clarify, there is no more racing for tonight. There's 2 20-minute races. The server was set up for 3, so we've cut it after 2. Some of the guys were invited to stick around for a bit of a fun one in race 3, but that won't be broadcast and won't be for points.
Right, okay, cool. We got a little bit confused there as well, but thank you very much, Greg.
That's
much appreciated, buddy.
All good, I'll jump out. Thanks.
Yeah, awesome. So who should we start? Should we start with... I want to have a chat with Mr. Caleb Bellick there as well. Caleb, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
Good. How are you going?
Mate, I have just had the racing of my life here, to the point of where I was stood up commentating as well and nearly shot me chair out my office wall. It was incredible, dude. What was going on in race 1? You saved enough fuel and you got to the end.
Yeah, I noticed we got to the grid, and I always check the fuel, and I'm like, we've only got 8 laps. This is a 9-lap race, so I sort of figured from the beginning that I had to save, and went full save from the beginning.
Wow.
Well, it certainly worked. That was the question I was going to ask, was, did you see it right from the start? So obviously you did. But race number 2, they pitted on you to make sure you couldn't do that again.
Oh, well, I was going to make it, but I had to push a bit hard in the first 2 laps, unfortunately. Came out about 150 mil short, so I decided to pit and take the safe option.
Sorry, 150 mil?
Yeah, 150 mil of fuel. We only use just under 800 mil a lap in a V here.
Mate, you might as well get out of the back and put your water bottle in it. Because 150
yeah,
mil
would have made it.
Yeah, 150 mil is nothing in conjunction. But dude, you've done a stellar job, and we were both impressed up here in the booth. I think Cowy secretly was, although he won't tell you. You know what I mean? But great racing here as well. Great racing in race 2 coming down to the line. Did you think you were going to get it on that run to the line? Because Byrne and Pocock were coming.
I knew that I was in the less favourable position going to the line. They were both in my slipstream. I ideally wanted to be P3 heading onto the back straight. I tried to let him pass, but he didn't want to go, so had to sit in P2.
I think we saw a few of those games early. So Sam didn't play those games with you in race number 1?
Oh, I think he did once he realised about the fuel saving. All of a sudden he started braking 100 metres earlier for the corners. So he really realised at about lap 7, but it was too late.
Oh, mate. Well, Caleb, that was unbelievable. Yeah, great race in there, buddy. You got anything else, Cowy?
I think it'll give him round honours. I was going to say, JP, I think that'll give him the round honours for tonight with the win in race number 1 and P2 in race number 2, just getting pipped by Daniel there at the end. So, mate, you haven't clean sweep it this week, but you keeping a nice, healthy lead at the front. These guys pushing hard, but you keep finding your way through the front and in the right spot.
Yeah, well, that's the main thing. We came away with a round win, which is ultimately what matters, just slowly extending the championship lead.
Awesome, buddy. Well, let us know who's giving you all the support out there, and congratulations on another, round victory.
Yeah, thank you. SLM Motorsport really helped me there with all the fuel saving. Told me the main corners that I need to work on here, and Pioneer DJ for the sponsorship. That's everyone.
Well, buddy, thank you so much.
Congratulations. Sorry, JP, we both said it at the same time.
Yeah, dude. Have a good one there, Caleb, and we'll look forward to catching up with you next time out as well.
Yeah, hopefully. See you guys.
Take care. Right, I'm going to bring in Mr. Pocock here as well. I want to chat with Scott. Scott, welcome into the booth, buddy. How are you?
Oh, not bad, but mate, how are you?
Oh, mate, I think I need a defib. As well. That race 2 was absolutely insane here as well. Race 1, how was it for you out there at the moment as well? Did you cotton on to what Caleb was doing early?
No. I knew it was going to be close. It made sense at the end that he just rolled around for the last few laps, but he outsmarted us all there.
Yeah, it definitely did.
You were right in the thick of that action in race number 1. And, race 2, there was a car in front of you as you went over the line, so did you decide to go over him?
Well, I thought there was enough room, and maybe the gap closed a little bit. I might have to review that.
Come on, Sky. You can't review it, dude. You can't review it. Caleb was in front. He threw a block at you, buddy, and you just tried to run over the top of him. You can't review that. That was tough racing going down into turn 1, into the final corner, and down over the line. As I said, if the stewards come out and review that, then I'm going to end up in the stewards room, because I think I'll be quite vocal about that one. It was great racing, Scotty, wasn't it? Look at that. How often do you get races like that in iRacing? Not very often.
Well, I don't race this thing very often. Like, I've done a few laps around in practices and like time trials and stuff, but never wheel to wheel like this. I think the public races scare me a bit.
Mate, they scare me when I see officials as well.
Yeah.
But look, you've done an absolutely stunning job. So close on the end of race 2. Maybe the outside line might have worked there as well, but Dan was blocking that one off for you as well, so you were a little bit boxed in, weren't you, on that one?
Yeah, it was all a bit of fun. It was good.
It definitely was.
Well, in the end, that's what I was going to say. Did you enjoy the racing? Because for me, that's what it's all about. But then again, I'm not a front runner and fast enough to take the W too often, so I just take what I can get.
Well, it's like a bit like playing chess with this thing. You got big long straights and a few cars in front and around you. It's you got to see what happens and don't send it into turn 1.
We did say that, Cowy, didn't we? It would be interesting if they all make it round turn 1. Yeah, we did there as well. So fair play. Thank you so much for joining us there. Scotty, anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, the number 2 driver at Darren Fahey Racing, Adrian, it looks like he tried to pit at the same time I did and copped a drive-through for running over the line on entry. I wish he was there with us at the end there, because he would have been.
Oh, mate, that was unlucky for him there, buddy. But thank you so much, Scotty, for joining us and me, and we look forward to seeing how you get on next week. I believe we're off to Laguna Seca next week as well. The old corkscrew in the Formula V. That's going to be interesting.
Oh, yeah, get your braking done early turn in, I think.
Oh, well, yeah. Don't forget you go light on the end there, Scotty, as well. You could be doing a nice little pirouette by the time you get down to the bottom of that corkscrew, buddy.
Yeah,
but
managing your throttle a bit.
Yeah, you definitely are. But Scotty, thank you so much for joining us there, bud. We'll look forward to seeing how you get on next week.
Cheers.
Well, there you go, Cowy. I think Scotty's happy. You can't look at it, Scotty. If you're watching this back, don't look at that last incident. It was racing. That was it. But now we've got Dan Byrne into the chat as well. Dan's evening. Well, we had a race 1. It was a little bit of a roller coaster for him. And then race 2, well, he was up the front. He was side by side over the line. He took the victory by literally no bigger than a nostril hair. Dan, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, I'm really good. It got me pumped, that race. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, good stuff.
Oh, mate, that was
looks like you're
incredible.
You look like you were the meat in a sandwich there for a few times. Lots of stuff happening around you, but at the end, were you worried about Scott? He sort of had the double toe, but you were able to sort of stop him going outside, and Kalen blocked him on the inside, so you were able to get away with it.
Yeah, I wasn't quite in the position I wanted heading onto the straight. I would have preferred to be behind one of them heading onto the straight, but yeah. So Caleb, I think, went past me, and then I was able to kind of lock Scott kind of up against the grass a little bit. So I kind of gave myself a good run into that last section, and yeah, it was the perfect spot, exactly where I wanted to be. Wanted to get a good exit on that last corner. Got it because I knew the draft was huge. It's huge for these cars. I couldn't believe how big it was. But I knew if I was tucked in behind him, I had a pretty good chance at getting the win if I was in that position. So, yeah, really good, clean racing as well with those guys. Maybe up until the finish line, possibly.
Did you expect the racing to be that good on the big track? I mean, when JP and I jumped in, we were like, it's a 2-minute 20 lap. We're on the full VIR layout. I mean, this is a place where you can have about 6 different configurations. But did you expect the racing to be that good?
Not really. No. I thought it was going to be interesting with that huge straight. And you know what? I think that's what made it interesting. I'm not sure what it was like at the back of the pack, but like up the front, everyone was bunched together because once you got past them, it was almost impossible to break the toe. So you know, you kind of had the groups all bunched together, so it made for some good racing. And I was lucky to have a good start in race 2 because I actually started at the back of the pack in race 2 because I ran out of fuel in race 1. So yeah, it was good to battle my way through and wave hi to some of my ex-teammates in the DFR camp now. So that was nice to see them on track as well, giving it a shot. But yeah, just really enjoyed it.
We did see you run out of fuel there, buddy, as well. You know, try to get a push over the line. Unfortunately, the session time ended before you got there. Bit of a shame, though, as well. Laguna Seca, what do we think of that in the Formula V next week?
I think it's going to be pretty good, actually. Kind of got a couple of similar little spots, like the corkscrew. It's kind of got a couple of similar. I mean, there's going to be a bit of death there. I think there's going to be there might be possibly a couple of safety cars caused there, but I think generally it should suit the car pretty well. I think, and then you got that huge straight as well to pull everybody back into it. So yeah, looking forward to that one.
Do you think you're going to nail the corkscrew though, Dan? Because at the end of the day, the corkscrew is the main part, isn't it? That's going to be the most problem.
Yeah, I don't have that much experience in the V, and it's pretty scary. You don't want to drop down to second, but when I'm thinking of the corkscrew, I'm thinking, will I be dropping to second? Probably not. I think if you drop down to second, I think you're just going to loop it. But yeah, it should be interesting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Should be good.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you so much for joining us there, Dan, as well. Congratulations on your race 2. Unlucky in race 1 there, buddy. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go, mate?
Yeah, sure. Big shout outs to Carlin's Motorsport, Driver 808 on YouTube and TikTok, Glam Raider, Australia's largest viral online beauty store, Little Rara, which wines from Victoria's popular Piran Vineyard, Eagers Automotive, which is Australia's largest automotive retail group, And big shout outs to my daughter Atari, Bianca, Frenchie and Minka, Zach and Levi, and big happy birthday to my teammate David Gallo, who couldn't join me on track tonight. This one's for you, buddy.
Well, awesome stuff, Dan. Thank you so much for joining us there, bud. And we look forward to seeing how you get on at Laguna Seca next week.
Thanks a lot, guys. See you then.
Well, Cowy, I don't know how we can describe this evening. Surprising, illusional, delusional, and overall epic racing.
I'm just thinking I might have got in trouble for saying what I said as the cars went over the line. But no, look, I'm not going to get that image out of my head for a while, seeing one car on top of another as they tried to finish.
Yeah.
But yeah, what great action. And yeah, as Daniel said, that back straight just seemed to bunch them all together. Race number 1, we saw a battle pack of 8-9 cars, and even after there were a few that fell by the wayside, there was still 4 or 5 of them battling. And for the final, the last part of race number 2 to come out the way it did, with 3 cars battling on the last lap, you couldn't script that any better as a commentator, could you?
Definitely not. And you couldn't script the fact that they try to ride over the top of each other as well in the process. I've never seen a Formula V try and take over another one, but good job it's only sim racing and not IRL. Because that poor car in front there, Caleb, might have, well, I suppose the terminology will come out of it on this one, Cowy. He might have lost his head. So there we go.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. Right, guys, that's going to wrap it up here tonight as well, or today, sorry, or this evening, depending where you are in the world, really. Obviously, I'm in the UK. It's still morning for me. Cowy's on Australia. It's night time. Thank you so much to everybody that's joined us. Don't forget, like, subscribe, turn on the bells. Drop us comments down below what you think of the epic racing here as well. But I'm going to bail out from me. I've been James Parfitt alongside Andy Cowan here this evening as well. And as always, guys, you all take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track next week. Good night.
To Total One, this is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mosman and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down to the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because tell you what, Bruce Tanak and Jamie Dyke just absolutely